Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2 The Shadow and the Blade, where I still, sadly, have not made this decision. It's a tricky situation. Here's the core problem. For some reason, I was looking at this, our settlement garrison doesn't have the units that it's supposed to have in it. We have a building that we went out of our way to build. We paid money and time to build specifically for the purpose of getting 2 catapults into this settlement garrison, and they're just not here. They just aren't in the thing. It would be really cool if we could maybe lose these 2 units of rat ogres, which are basically garbage, or, 2 units of gutter. Like, there's a whole bunch of units here that I would much rather drop in favor of catapults. I don't know why the catapults aren't here. So, if we had the additional catapults, I'd feel a lot more secure just making this attack. Like, the way things are right now, he's got a steam tank and 2 units of rocket batteries. He's got some other stuff, but these are the things that I'm most concerned about. His army, Boris Todbringer's army as a whole, isn't really that scary. It's a lot of like lower tier troops. He's only got 1 unit of great swords. We could take this army. This one, on the other hand, I'm a little concerned about, because first of all, it's considerably more elite, and secondly, it's got 2 more units of rocket batteries that'll be coming in from the edge of the map as we're trying to fight Todbringer, which means that our troops are just going to get absolutely shredded by all those rockets. And we don't really have a great solution. We have some cavalry type units, but we know they're going to just stand back and play defense around their rocket batteries, because they always do. It's always a big production to draw them far enough away to try to do anything to them. We could try just shooting at them with our catapults, but even if that goes as well as it reasonably could, we're still going to lose a ton of rats before that exchange finishes up. I don't think we have it. The best possible scenario here is that we're going to retreat. Todbringer is going to be stuck inside the city's zone of control, and so he's going to choose to siege the city up, and then we attack him from behind, hopefully actually land an ambush. But I think we would lose this battle. This would be great if we could win it, but I'm pretty sure we would lose it. So I'm going to fall back. Right? That's... Huh. Okay, that's very much not what I was expecting them to do. So he sieged the city, then changed his mind and ran away, or the AI is smart enough to know how to get out of a city zone of control when you're stuck inside of it, I guess. Yeah, I really wasn't expecting a fallback. It's a real shame that our ambush failed there, because I think if they had not seen through the ambush, there's a pretty good chance they would have just ridden right into it, and then we would have been able to kill one of those armies easily, and then kill the other army easily the next turn. Yeah, that's a real shame that worked out that way. I have no idea what these Bretonnians are doing, why they're always sailing in and out of our territory, and apparently they just declared war on us. Okay, well... things are definitely getting a little bit more complicated, huh? Who invited them to fight us? Kislev, who we're only at war with because they were invited by Karazakarak. Okay. What do you want? You want a military alliance? You have no army. Okay. So wherever Vashnar's army went, they were just completely slaughtered. Alright, the fact that we're now at war with Couronne does complicate things slightly, because now we have to have a... Ooh, wow. 5 turns, a plus 15% movement range for everybody. That's awesome. Now we have to worry about our southern border a little bit. And too many enemy heroes. It's a shame there's no real solution to that problem. Right? Aside from just have 20 assassins, which obviously is unrealistic. Well, we can jump Boris Todbringer by himself in the field. I'm pretty confident about that. I think we can handle that fight. We do have this hero here. Does it make sense for us to throw Chant Stab at him? We can't injure his units. We could attempt a wound on a hero. I mean, it'll be a good burst of XP for this mage before he joins the army that he's going to be a part of. Yeah, sure. Try to wound that guy. Alright, hey, pretty great. Yeah, so I think we're going to focus on this line more than the spellcasting until we finish this line. It's like, standardized firing drill is actually very good. Ballistics calibration is actually very good. I have to remember to press the button, but it's very good. Extra powder is okay. It's fine. This idea that army does have explosions. Okay. Let us go and fight these guys. They're not in march mode or anything, so they could just run if we don't hit the ambush chance. If we do hit the ambush chance, it's really bad for them. Yeah, like that's truly awful. They would get absolutely shattered here. I think the auto-resolver performed reasonably well there. I'm gonna take the replenishment. Okay, so now that we've done that, it's totally reasonable for us to attack at Karlberg now, but I wonder if we might be better off doing something a little bit sneakier. To some extent, we're buying time right now, right? We're just waiting for Hidar to finish recruiting his stuff. He's going to need a couple more, like one more turn of recruitment post all of this, I think, because we're going to want to bring in a handful of other units. We'll bring in the Council Guard plus the Hero to bring it to 18. But he'll need 2 more. Well, whatever. It's not a big deal. So we'll probably be doing one more turn of recruitment after this. We'll just grab some clan rats or Skaven slaves or something. So it's not totally unreasonable for us to just wait until recruitment is finished before we go fighting people. We could threaten Weissmund, maybe. Doesn't have a huge garrison. What I'm worried about this too. Like I kind of think that we should respond to that. I do think it's strange that he ran right past Gorsel instead of attacking Gorsel, which says to me that he plans to attack Marienburg instead. If we were to take Drietzmann, then we could travel from Karlberg through the forest, which I think will be pretty slow going. We have a good sense. So we're getting closer to even. They're probably only up on us 1 army at the moment. So as we continue recruiting and we continue killing stuff, we should have an upper hand against the Empire pretty soon. I'm trying to think, like, in terms of our overall stuff. We now have hostile enemies, like, right here because of Couronne declaring war on us. Yeah, like, there are people actually within a single move distance of our cities. Now, granted, we do have proper garrison structures up and everything, so it's not necessarily a big deal. But, like, we can't just leave them alone down there forever. They will eventually build the force that they need to take some of our stuff. So we're going to have to divert an army. And, yeah, that sucks. So that's going to complicate things in the north, because we can no longer rely on the northern troops being reinforced by the southern troops. Which means we have to be a lot smarter about this part. I think attacking, maybe not even worrying about filling Hidar's army up all the way, just like attacking next turn, I think is the smart move. So what I'm going to do here is step a little bit further in. Try to find a spot where a little bit too far. I want to make sure that my zone of control is actually going all the way out to the coast. Okay. Lay an ambush right there. If he sees through my ambush, I don't think it's super consequential, but if he doesn't see through it, he might blunder into it while trying to threaten Altdorf. Might be the case that makes things very, very easy for us on the next turn. And then we have lots of other things to do. Let's see, let's level you up. Do we want to grab Skitterleap at all? Do we just want to, like, upgrade Veil of Shadows, maybe? Does not affect friendly troops, dramatically lowers enemy leadership. You know what? Who needs Skitterleap?
I cannot.
So to be perfectly honest with you, I don't much like this army. We could probably defeat it with either one of our armies, though. We probably don't need to make this a two-man thing. Unfortunately, we can't reach it with either one of our armies. I don't really want to pull somebody back. I think I'm going to ignore him. Maybe ignore him is too strong, but yeah, I think I'm going to not bother going back for him. So let's take Flensburg instead. There was an army in Flensburg. Is that army still there? We have a scout somewhere in this. Ah, there we go. Alright, get over here. Tell me what's up with Flensburg. There is no army currently in Flensburg. Where's the army that was in Flensburg? I don't know. They left. Okay. Let's send somebody to go handle that then. This is a thing we ought to own. And then we can probably... I'm a little nervous about pushing Ikit too terribly far to the east by himself. So we grabbed Standard Die already. We have some decisions to make here. Do we want to try to make Infectique a better man-to-man fighter, or do we want to go deep on cost reduction? Because his army is very elite and expensive. And the cost reduction obviously gets us some other stuff too, like Ancient Cunning, which is quite good. Even more movement range eventually, which obviously is good. So we don't need any more redline stuff just yet. I think I'm going to go blue. And I'm pretty sure we want Ancient Cunning, right? Income from looting settlements up, recruitment costs down. Recruitment costs are such a small percentage of the amount of money that you pay for an army over time. We'll work on that. And then... do we want Ikit to move further out to this side? This could probably be one of those. That could probably also be one of those, honestly. Let's try to get some defenses up around here.
Greatest, best inventor.
Is Needling's in this province? Yeah, okay. Needling is the other settlement in this province. I'm a little worried about how far out to the east it is. Like, it would not necessarily be easy to defend it once we took it. Stupid ghosts everywhere. Stupid dwarf ghosts. Is there an army in Averheim? Okay, this is what happened to Valmir Gosser. He ran from Flensburg to Averheim. Well, that means Bilefitch is probably not going to Averheim by himself, right? It could be that Bilefitch is the one that we send back to fight Bretonnians. Probably. That's a pretty simple task. Bretonnians are not super strong against us, and we have lots of defenses down there. And Bilefitch is by a large margin the weakest of our armies. I think that's probably what's happening here, actually. Rebamute has a job. He's going to continue doing his job. Bilefitch is going to maybe stop through the forest. Is he needed in the forest? No, nobody's going to rebel anytime soon. Okay, yeah, then just go back for the Bretonnians as quickly as possible. Fort Sol could be upgraded, and as such probably should be upgraded. I think we ought to take that relatively seriously. Get you as far as this. Well, I sure hope it isn't going to turn out that there's like a whole big dwarf army at Migdal von Galbarak. You should just attack somebody for XP. And you have actually maxed out all of your useful skill points already. It is a little bit of a shame that agents that you intend to use entirely for map actions run out of useful skill points to take very early. So do we want to fall back to threaten Karel, or is that Infectique's job? I think that's Infectique's job. I think I want to be a threat with Ikit. Ikit's got a pretty good pushing army here, so we could press north, like maybe fall back and grab all this stuff. I don't think Needling is defensible. So as much as I do love to complete a province, we're not going for that. These guys are not terribly strong. They would love peace. That's interesting. Do we need to take peace with them right now? I don't think their territory is particularly a problem for us. And if we could get... They have 9 settlements. So 5 north of the mountains. Stonemire. They would still be at war with the Sartosans, but none of the other forces they're at war with are actually a threat to them in any way. So if we took peace, it would definitely give them time to recover and rebuild to some extent. But it would also mean that there's more people around that I don't have to fight. I think we want that peace treaty. Plus, it's green, which means we might be able to get them to pay us for it. Oh, I'll give you peace. For a price. Okay, how about... But what if... For a less of a price, what about only 1,500 gold? Okay, that's still high. We can do better than it still being high. Okay, 25 was the magic number. Alright, that's great. So we don't have to worry about these dudes at all, which means that we might actually be in position to threaten Needling, after all. Maybe it's a better idea to go to Krugenheim, which is, for some reason, the current Empire capital, as you can see from the eagle. Now, I think I wanna threaten stuff up north. I might wanna, like, sort of carve a path this way. Basically, like, take Talabheim, but leave it largely undefended as something for them to be slowed down and retake as we push back over here and unite with Vomik and actually fight the Reichland armies and stuff in this area. So I'm going to do something a little risky. Oh yeah, I forgot you were here. Krugenheim is undefended, huh? Alright, we're going to go to, like, right here. Try to be sneaky. And we're just going to cause havoc in this area. We need the Empire to be a little bit distracted. Cherry Flesh, you're just trying to level up. That's an embarrassing failure. Alright, and then we have money for settlements. So, leveling up Blackstone Post really doesn't feel important. Is there any place that we, like, desperately need to address our public order? No, we'll be fine here. We have armies around that area. Here, Steingart is no longer in position to immediately be lost, so we should probably actually put some effort into rebuilding this area. Don't use the mouse wheel, because it's a trap. Black Mountains, we're working on it. Stirland, we're not really working on it. I'm going to turn off taxation in Stirland, actually. And of course, the Wasteland, as ever, is a problem. Yeah, Vomik definitely needs to end up back over there. I don't think we're going to upgrade the Northern Grey Mountains. Don't think we care about them enough. Karak Anghazar should get upgraded. Yeah, that's a good use of money. Over here, we could throw some upgrades on some stuff. Yeah, we want to get Karak Izor properly defended, right? The dwarves will be coming for it. It's more important to get Izor upgraded than it is to get Bufdar upgraded, because Bufdar is pretty far away from stuff. There's no way the dwarves go here without stopping at Izar along the way, right? So it's not a frontline problem. And then we could pull out a Doom Engineer, and as such probably ought to. We're in a position here where we need even more money, so an expansion of the Great Undercity is probably called for. And we need one more vial of warp fuel to buy any Doom Wheel upgrades, right? Yes, we do. Well, okay then. We can buy something, one of these. We probably don't need to. And we do still have four Doom rockets. I am not afraid to use them. Okay, Rat Surge did not reveal my ambush, which is nice. Your armies are not, like... When you do an ambush mode thing, your armies do not maintain a state of invisibility relative to each player. It's just the army is stealthed or is not stealthed. And if you I'm tempted to fight this manually just because I think we could actually do some damage to this army, and most importantly, I think we can do some damage to that rocket battery. We're going to go ahead and fight this manually. We're going to lose most of this food at the beginning of the turn anyway. Let's plow some food in. I mean, food's not really our problem, right?
Win battle.
The food on hand is not our problem, I mean. Our problem is food income and also doom fuel. Doom fuel? The scary green stuff. You know, the ecto cooler. Our problem is this: we don't have enough ecto cooler, which is always true. Nobody has ever had enough ecto cooler. But we can maybe do some actual damage to this army because it's not any good. This is a really weak army. As soon as Vomit gets over here, Carl Franz is going to get very badly embarrassed. And we can probably do a lot of this battle on fast forward because it's not like we're going to actually... It's not like we have any chance of beating these guys. I'm just trying to hurt them. Let's have a lot of you start pretty far back. We're going to do this thing again. Basically just trying to draw the enemy away from their siege stuff. You guys over here. You're familiar with this. You've seen this plan. Good news is we can actually probably put a lot of our guys in stealth here, I guess, if we want. I'm not sure how much we want to do that, because we do want the enemy to know where we are a little bit. Now let's just try to draw him toward the corner. Okay. Started the rocket battery quite far away from the rest of their units, too, which I appreciate. Okay, let's go fast here. No reason to do this the slow way. I mean, as soon as we have the ability to summon a unit of clan rats in here, we're going to. There's no sense in being coy about it. They'll turn some guys around, and hopefully they'll be far too late to prevent us from doing the thing we're doing. There is zero chance of this rocket battery dying if we auto-resolve, but there's a pretty decent chance of it dying if we do this manually. Well, they're really not very enthusiastic about the defense of these dudes over here. Alright, well, I'll take this as well if you'll let me. Alright, and then over here... These guys just have guns. I mean, I don't know. There's not anything really fancy to do. So it's worth noting the crossbows and stuff are a little bit armored, just a little bit. The archers are not armored almost at all, so we can probably get some damage done here. And I'm gonna actually just run in and fight. I mean, given the state of our Doom Rocket supplies, maybe it is reasonable to spend one here. Maybe it's not like a big loss. Let's drop one of these, and then also... Okay, we're going to have to get closer before I can actually do that. Lightning! Do it! It's gonna be hard to tell what the effect is, because they're not visible to me while they're getting lightninged. Oh, we should probably make sure that we're applying our new units of clan rats in a sensible fashion. It's kind of remarkable how little damage is being done to random siege guys by our ranged troops. In fact, if anything, it looks like they've healed. Okay, there we go. Now all of a sudden they're taking a ton of damage all at once. Alright, may as well break those dudes up. What happened? Oh, he got Carl Franzed. He broke. I mean, I sort of... That's pretty good, right? And no, this is a total waste of a Doom rocket. What a bad army. Why would I bother? Get him. Nice of you to remember that there's a battle happening. Okay, let's make sure we turn on skirmish mode for these guys. They've done what needed to be done. Now we're just trying to get additional damage in wherever we can. Okay, they're suffering. Yes, things aren't going that well for them. To be perfectly honest, he could probably ride into combat here as long as he's just not fighting Karl Franz. You guys seriously break with, like, no damage on you at all? I mean, what do you expect, Skaven? Boy, Karl Franz really thinks he's gonna... He thinks this is worth his time, huh? Well, it works for me. Yeah, we're going to break down a couple of units of guys here. There's not going to be much left of this army by the time we're done. One of you melee? No. I'm really not sure why so many of them are like, constantly breaking. A bunch of these guys are not in situations that warrant being as upset as they are. Again, there's no chance we'll actually win this because it is not possible for this army to defeat Karl Franz. We don't have a way of dealing with him at all. We got done what I wanted to get done. We killed the most annoying enemy unit. Let's see how many of these charges we get to spend before the battle ends. I have units who are legitimately, like melee units, who are legitimately just losing in combat with archers, with enemy archers. It's deeply embarrassing for us. On the flank. Yeah, this is what armies look like when you don't have leadership bonuses. Okay, those guys are dying. A lot need to get in here and gang up on that guy. Maybe not you. That did a little damage. Maybe you can fight some archers. Maybe with some backup, you can fight some archers. Okay. Hey, we got some decent damage in here, considering the state of this garrison. Apparently they're not actually doing that good of a job of closing on us, though. Get him. No, are we done? Okay, there we go. A valiant defeat, says the video game. We actually did kill almost as many of them as they killed of us, which is pretty impressive when you consider the value of an average Skaven body. So yeah, we did completely wipe out the war machine. We completely wiped out a unit of archers, maybe that unit of crossbows. There's a little bit of red there, but that's low enough health that the unit might disband. Those guys are dead. It's not, honestly, a terrible outcome. If we had auto-resolved this, it would have done a bunch of damage to a bunch of them, but no unit would have actually been eliminated. So I will take it. Also, 155 kills on the globe throwers, which is cool. Nah, the crossbows survived. You can tell because their portrait's not grayed out the way these ones are. That's a shame. If I had moved a little bit further north to set my ambush, he would have just run down south of us. I mean, we weren't going to catch him either way. Also, the ambush was foiled, because apparently Vomik is terrible at ambushing people, despite the fact that he should be the stealthiest of our lords. AI is conspiring here to make sure that we never ever have a full-strength city garrison. Somehow we shall survive. Wonder what Réponse de Lyonesse is doing. Met Sarl, who is, I believe, one of the Norskin, like the North Norskin factions. There are Norskins in other parts of the map a little bit, like there's a faction that starts way out on the tip of this little peninsula over here. But I'm pretty sure Sarl is just up there where the World Walkers are. In fact, I'm kind of surprised we haven't met them before. Okay, none of that matters. Vomik's loyalty is fine. The Wasteland's going to rebel, and we have Vomik headed in that direction anyway. Alright, and they did a bunch of garbage to us that doesn't matter. You know, I'll say this. At least we're draining them economically. So,
The doom comes.
you should just step back and join up with this army.
Shall move.
So I think I want Vomik to just run clean through, right? I don't want to stop at Karelberg. If we're taking Karelberg, it's Hedar's job. And he may as well grab these guys before leaving town. That's fine. We could do that.
Stop! Die! Attack them! Kill them!
This will not be a very interesting battle to fight manually, but I'm with the balance of power being what it is here. I think we actually do have to fight this manually in order to prevent a bunch of our units from taking damage that they shouldn't take. We can probably do this either flawless or very close to flawless if we do it manually. So we're going to. I mean, with the two catapults and the 2 units of plague mortars, there's a really good chance that the enemy army breaks and flees before they even get close to us. I suspect not a single melee blow will take place here. They might get into crossbow range. Although you gotta remember, crossbow range is also well within shooting rifles at them range, so. Looks like the map is pretty flat. There's some weird hilliness, but okay, the map is hillier than was implied, I feel like. By the topographical map. Yeah, that does complicate things a little bit. I honestly don't think we need to change our positioning too much, though. Like, we probably want the Jezzails up here on the raised ground. But even that's not super valuable, because there's more raised ground that we have to move to. Yeah, I guess let's put you guys right here, because we're going to have to move forward onto that. And then the rest of this is fine. Okay, so Rattling guns move to here. That's closer than I would like. We will absolutely be within crossbow range by the time we get there. But we have to move at least this far forward, because look at this. From here, we're not going to be able to get a shot. Guys, I don't know. Yeah, we have to move to here to have an actual line of sight, so it might not even be worth it. Maybe we just wait. You're definitely gonna... Nope, never mind. You're not gonna do anything. We're just gonna shoot at them with, the siege weapons. We should have mortar and catapult fire available immediately. I guess we should have our warp engineer move forward, or warlock engineer rather move forward, because we want to be able to do some of this stuff. Just figure it out, man. Don't. Nope, he is not in fact going to be in casting range anytime soon. Okay, they got off about a volley of crossbow fire.
Warblades charged! Attack!
Okay. Yeah, given the appearance of the balance of power bar, I think we would have taken some actual damage. And I want to make sure that we are in the best shape possible, because we are totally going to occupy this, and that army, that Reichland army, is going to turn around and come after us, I'm sure. So we want to be ready for them. Do I think we can handle that army by ourselves, given that half of my army is made of Skaven slaves? It's definitely... I'm nervous. I'm nervous about it, if I'm being honest. But I also think we got to start breaking up this territory. What we could do is have Vomek move just to the other side of Karaberg, like to here, instead of doing a full run forward. Wait right here in ambush mode. If these guys come forward and try to do their thing, we catch them, and then we are probably within a single turn's movement from here of getting to Marienburg. Yeah, okay. Reasonable. Wildfitch continues south, because we got to figure out what Repance is doing. But you know what? Maybe our man here should sail south. We should try to figure out what's going on with the Bretonnian settlements down in the desert.
Many kills today.
Erat is not really needed for anything in particular. Can Infectique cannot hit this guy this turn. That's a shame. Well, we'll try to get close. I'm in light forest here, so decent ambush chance. Just hoping not to get revealed. And we can send Erat back out to just scout this way. Look for people coming in from, like, Needling. Because we don't need to pull him back to help with this stuff. This stuff's under control.
Move tails. Stalk. Yes.
Grab Krugenheim for free.
Attack.
Make it clear to the Empire that we are all up in their stuff, everywhere. And then obviously, Ikit Claw is going to fall back pretty aggressively at the beginning of the next turn. Is that a thing you can do aggressively? I fall back with tremendous aggression. Okay, that's inconvenient. Well, we're gonna underway move one more time. I'm a little nervous because we're like definitely moving toward a blind corner here. Okay, from there we should be able to make the walk to Migdal von Galbarak in a single turn. So you just keep harassing people. I mean, there's nobody useful for you to harass. I guess you could go this way. Try to feel out the dwarven position.
Unlock the gates.
It's like they have no interest in maintaining the moot. Yeah, I think a lot of the AI forces here are having a little bit of a problem in that they are they control so much territory that they don't really know how to position their armies. Which is why we keep getting these big breaks between assault waves, despite the fact that what they should be doing is just like pressuring us really hard. Yeah, Carrick Buftar can get an upgrade now. And then we're not taxing here, but we're going to be taxing here, so we may as well turn all these up. Yeah, I think we can turn that on safely. There's going to be a rebellion in the Wasteland, which is not ideal, but we have people on the way. And I failed to level you up. Hedar is probably taking weapon strength. Yeah, I don't think we need 15 more armor, and his leadership will probably be fine. It's the leadership of everybody else in that army that we have to be worried about. Alright, we want to grab Triangulation. Plus damage for missile units. We have some of those. I don't know if these guys count as missile units. They're definitely firing. I mean, they have a missile damage stat. Probably anything that has a missile damage stat is a missile unit. That's my guess. I'm not going to bother spending money on that because Karl Franz is just going to blow everything up anyway. So a small army of Skaven rebels shouldn't be a threat to Marienburg for at least a couple of turns. I don't think there's any realistic chance that Marienburg falls to that rebel force. They won't even attack, given the walls and everything. I kind of wish that the Pirates of Sartosa would go back and backfill that territory. Aha, you fool! I think we can just take the auto-resolve on this ambush. That's pretty favorable for us. And then we're going to get that pulse of replenishment at the beginning of the turn, so that's pretty good. We finally managed to lay a functional ambush. I think I'm going to take the leadership buff over the replenishment. Karl Franz has a wizard now. Uh-oh, more guys. Weird that he's raiding that area. The amount of income that you get from raiding a territory is based on how developed that territory is. It's a real waste of his time to be raiding Gorsel. You can see he's only making 100 gold per turn out of it. Also, here comes Belagar Ironhammer from the southwest? How did he even get down there? I guess there are dwarves on that continent. There are small dwarven settlements. And we know the dwarves have been confederating all the minor nations. I guess that must be an army from like the mountains that are way in the southwest corner of the map. It's just been sailing steadily toward us for 20 turns or so. Well, I'm glad we're sending somebody back to deal with it. Pretty bummed out about Erat being successfully wounded. Yep, Vomik's always going to break loyalty and then become loyal again. I don't think we actually have to worry about him. Black Mountains are going to rebel. We still have an army in the area. That's not a huge problem. So, Thorgrim Grudgebearer showed up. And he's in reinforcement range. We can't actually attack him. Well, we could try. It's possible that an attempted attack would get us an ambush, which obviously would prevent the garrison here from reinforcing. What's his army look like? We don't get to see it all. We might be able to handle him. Hold on, let's go make some easier decisions. Icket Claw. Hold on, let's talk to you guys. Trade agreement? With a defensive alliance and also military access? How about some of that? Alright, we are now trusted friends. Could I talk you into fighting Reichland? I should have put this as part of that previous deal. Likelihood of success, moderate. Hold on a second, we might be able to make that happen. You should join my war against Reichland in exchange for... I don't know, let's say 3,000 gold. I like to offer 3,000 gold because it's a number that's easy to type. A single key press off of the starting value. I am willing to try something slightly bigger. Hold on, we gotta put the other term on here first. You declare war on Reichland. In exchange for... I'm gonna go to 5,000. Oh, sorry, that's a demand. Offer, 5,000. It makes me nervous that it still says moderate. I wonder if we could get it to even read high. If I give him all my money. No, okay. Let's try 5176. Okay, he's not going to do it. There's no amount of money that will shift it, if that wasn't going to shift it. But now he's taking additional negative diplomatic modifiers against Reichland, or rather Reichland is taking modifiers against him. Because now they are at war with one of his allies, so we probably will be able to make that work at some point here. So do we want to in fact take Needling now that we know we aren't likely to be suddenly attacked? You know what? Yeah, I think so. I think at this point it makes sense to go get that. It'll serve as a nice early warning system to the east. We're going to have to do it manually. That's fine. We can do that.
Which kill device?
These guys do not, in fact, have any chance of survival at all. You would think at some point the auto-resolver would learn. If we do a battle that looks like this, it's going to look like it did the last 14 times. But once we've done this, Ikitclaw will fall back to the west. But if we can get this city, if we can hold on to the city for long enough to be able to put up walls around it, it's going to really serve as an early baffle for enemies coming in from the east. Mostly, I'm concerned there about obviously the Border Princes redeclaring on us. Yeah, go ahead and gamble me up some more wins, and then we're going to start on this side. This side has a slightly better dead zone. They do have a mortar in their garrison, I'm pretty sure. But also, I don't know that it really matters. I don't expect that there are any enemy armies nearby, because we have a pretty good idea of where all the enemy armies are. So I think we can just, this. Except you guys, not really. Maybe more like here, is what I'm thinking. Just like, if you don't want me to put the thing there, just adjust it to a position where it can be put. Why is that not the default behavior? Oh, they've left their mortars completely unguarded. So okay, the second we can summon clan rats, we're going to deal with that problem. We could have the Doomflayers ride over and smash the gates, but to be perfectly honest, with the weakness of these gate armies, or these wall armies, I think we might be better off taking the walls first. Can't fire down from them, but we can eliminate the ranged units without having to fight anything else at the same time, really. So let's have... Yeah, let's just try to get up here. I'm not too worried about the grouping up now. I think that the mortars are well under control. Let's slow down the incoming damage for a second here. Okay. That's pretty bad for them. They will definitely turn stuff around to deal with that. Not necessarily because of the cannon crew, but because of the fact that they, we now have units in their zone of control. Like they have to get back there or they're actually going to lose the battle. Alright, this should be pretty straightforward from here. How are there still people in the tower's firing arc? Guys, just move over slightly. I didn't quite set these guys up far enough back. Alright, they're going to move some normal swordsmen up. That is definitely not a danger. I get Ikitclaw up on the wall. Let's see, we did permanently break their siege crew, and we kind of threw some havoc into the rest of what's going on here. I'm not allowed to summon these guys. I mean, I guess I can summon them, like, here and try to have them run up onto the wall before anybody gets them, but honestly, I don't know. I don't think it makes a lot of sense for us to summon back here because they're going to just keep units around. Maybe we just hold on. We'll probably have a use for them once we hit the ground. Right now, like I said, let us just engage in combat with an enemy who is restricted on space and unable to apply his superior troops to us. Oh hey, we have control of this tower. It becomes a lot less dangerous to do this thing now. I just need a unit of normal guys. Yeah, okay. Try to cast this in such a way that it hits lots of enemies but doesn't kill all of my units. The fact that they've pulled back some cavalry to sit in the town square is a little bit more meaningful than it probably looks like. Because if those guys were allowed to be up here, our troops are very vulnerable to the kind of pistol fire that those Outriders put out because of the fact that we have very little armor. Because of the fact that we are, like, super not elite. Halberds are definitely slightly better fighters. We can Death Frenzy our men on the wall. Alright, Ladder's making contact. We're going to be on every side of them real soon. And I mean, the battle's basically over, right? We will continue to win on the wall. It's just going to get worse and worse for them, actually. Yeah, they don't really have a solution. Not interested in moving the cavalry forward. At this point, like, we could just throw these guys out. We're not going to have enough time to actually apply 4 units of clan rats in a way that matters down here. So we can just throw them out to keep enemies from getting up on the wall. So we can continue to push our local advantage here. Melee mode. Get in there and carve some dudes up. It would be really cool if we could keep the enemy from getting up on the walls, so that we could descend. Yeah, I guess right here works. That should keep a bunch of them off of the wall. I think we've created enough of a distraction that we can start putting bodies onto the ground here. Get down. I don't know how to make this order any clearer. Go down there and fight those guys who are down there. I think you might come in and intervene. Yeah, our troops are actually pretty strong. Despite not being very advanced unit designs, our troops are pretty alright. Well, at this point, we could, I suppose, just try to start breaking the gates down with the Doomflayers. Now that they don't have control of the towers and their ranged units are very, very few. We will suffer little penalty for going for this. It's like a Death Frenzy kind of situation. Totally normal Death Frenzy. Actually, you get down here and go kill that Lord. He could probably handle this. Actually, he has no interest in coming down here. Guys could back up and let those things handle him, and then obviously the guns and, like, they should have surrendered some time ago. The battle has been over for a while. It is kind of annoying how much extra effort you have to put in to make the AI give up on a battle that's clearly over. This is a problem that all strategy games have, though. We're just like... Apparently it's very difficult to program an AI to understand how things are going, to be able to assess a situation in any meaningful way. So obviously what we need to do with our gunners is get them set up like this, so we can fire down that alley. Okay. Easy enough. Now we don't have any food, right? We're not going to make enough food off of this battle to set this settlement to level 3, but I'm sure it'll grow quickly enough that it won't be a huge difference in the total number of turns necessary to get the walls up. If we had not pulled food for rat charges at the beginning of this battle, we might have been able to set the settlement up at level 2, which I guess would have cut, like, a couple of turns off of the timer. Because, right, I'm sure we have enough growth to just go ahead and press the upgrade settlement building right now, yeah. Okay, so 3 turns. We would have saved 3 turns by having 2 more food to spend. It matters. I guess it matters. Okay, you're going toward level 2. You are not yet level 2. Well, then get one of these. And you can, I guess, do this.
No malice.
Plan to stab the Warlock Engineer. So now how do we want to do this? Somebody has to come over here. But now that we've killed that Empire army, I'm wondering if maybe we send somebody over to Weissmund and start working in this direction. Go ahead and build that up.
Stink of command.
Do I think Hadar could take down Karl Franz? I mean, this army's bad, and he's not even trying to heal. And while Hadar has a bunch of this garbage, he does also have some real units. So I'm a little worried that Hadar is too weak to do things on his own. And we had to do that to make sure that we still had money, but it's definitely bad. I think, why don't we try this? We'll have Hadar go this way, and you know, ambush mode. I'm hoping Karl Franz will not realize that we are here while we are dealing with the rebel army, and then we'll get inside Marienburg and figure it out from there. So Vomik can just handle this, right? This should be very doable. And there can't be another army in the area, right? There just can't be. Do we... Let me think. We'll probably get somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 to 20 food for this battle, right? That's what we've been getting from settlement garrisons. So I want to take in some extra charges of menace below, but I don't want to take too many in. Let's call it at 9. Have we ever gotten less than 11 food for a settlement? I don't think so. I maybe could have put in 1 or 2 more charges there, but I didn't want to push it. This is going to be exactly the same battle, but sadly we do have to fight it. This army, I'm a little bit more reluctant to just go up on the walls because our troops are... They're more elite, but they're not as good at sustaining damage as the army we just saw. Fortunately, we have more ranged units that can do a thing. This is very similar. They put us on the same map. Okay, catapults. Guys, and guys, and guys, and guys. Okay, there it is. Now, this isn't exactly the same map, obviously. So who do we want to put on the walls? Well, Vomik, the master assassin, should climb a wall. Then we'll bring up, just some of these guys, I guess. Try to soften these dudes up as we approach. Wow, very softened. What an effective softener. Should have rocketed some people too. Yeah, wow, that did a lot of damage. Looks to me like we're probably going to defeat those guys immediately. Yeah, they're already giving up. So yeah, Outriders firing pistols up into our flanks is exactly the thing I was worried about last time. We might be able to, by putting these guys close enough to the wall, fire some missiles over top of the wall at the horsemen. Oh, right, the mortar. I totally forgot to do the thing with the mortar. That's pretty important. That's the sort of thing you don't want to forget. The sort of thing you don't want to have already forgotten. Okay, that should resolve. I'm kind of surprised they were able to fire even one more time. Let's throw up some melee defense for our guys. Try to minimize losses here. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. Let's get some units firing some stuff over the walls. You know, fireballs are usually pretty effective from high ground. Were you planning to actually shoot that, or I might have given him a task that's too complicated for him to understand? Okay, man. You know what? Never mind. Just go stab him. How about some of that? How's this going? Have they done approximately... That's not quite the same. Trying to make sure we kill the mortar crew, though, so that they can't turn around and go back to the mortars at some point after I've stopped paying attention to them. That is definitely the sort of thing that sometimes happens. Right, you guys gotta fall back. You're taking too much friendly fire. Yeah, this is probably the right place to do this. We want to try to wrap this unit up as quickly as possible so that our other units will stop shooting at them. Don't get me wrong, I do need them to die. Okay. We just gotta deal with these guys, and then I think it'll be pretty safe to climb down and take the doors. Are they going to get up here on the wall with me? That will certainly make it easier to shoot them with lightning. I guess there's a lot of enemies over here, though, and Vomit can wipe out a unit of halberdiers in melee combat completely trivially, we've learned. Unfortunately, going to be very hard to see him doing his thing because of all of the spell effects. I think he just did a backflip? I don't know what the combat utility of a backflip is. It seems like it wouldn't really help. You guys get down here and take control of this. Gotta buy you a second here. I'm not even going to try to shoot the fireball, because we all know it's not going to work. And let's grab the gun units, get them over here. All these guys and get them over here. We're going to have control of this gate any moment now. Any moment now. Because you guys are definitely going to follow orders and do the thing you were told to do. I mean, we may as well try it. Let's see if he can figure out how to shoot his fireball. Spoilers, he cannot. Let's move these guys over. Boy, our Eshin Triads took way more damage just getting down onto the ground than I had anticipated that they would. I'm a little surprised to see the enemy gates destroyed. Did not realize anything was happening that could destroy the gates. I guess the catapults have been firing at this section of the wall quite a bit.
Council's command. We move. Yes.
Also, I have to say, I'm disappointed. For a guy who murders people for a living, he's taken an awfully long time to murder all these halberds. He's only killed like 90 of them with his bare hands. After climbing a 2-story ladder. And fighting 200 other guys. I can't believe the level of laziness that we are seeing here. You guys might not want to stand just there. Getting some minor splashback from the poison wind. Okay, finally. So now that we've got this, I don't know that this is going to make us able to hold this province for very long. Obviously, we're going to have public order issues here that are going to result in some rebellions. That's just a fact of life. But I think well, I guess we're going to have to see. I was going to say, I think we might be able to keep Vomik in the area long enough to fight the rebels, but a lot of that's going to depend on enemy armies moving in out of the mist, right?
Greedy.
Because we have 2 minor settlements here, right? Middenstag and then Middenheim are the other 2. Let's get that up. We could probably demolish that. There are other things we need to put in this place.
Warlock, master of Scryer.
Bilefitch is maybe not actually on the hook for... I mean, I guess at the very least we have to have somebody come back and fight Belgar Ironhammer. Pretty weird that that's a problem that we're having, though. The Bretonnians have run away, but Belgar is always a problem. And always and forever kind of problem.
Big puddle.
Also, I didn't realize Bilefitch didn't have a full army. Well, we'll pick up some more guys at some point here.
Let the bell scream.
What do we do with Revamute? We could go for the ambush. We could go into the underway and try to move away, and there's a chance we would fight an intercept battle. But I think, honestly, an intercept battle might go really well for us. I can't force one to happen, but we might be able to trick him into starting one. I'm looking at the time here. I usually like to end the episode at the beginning of one of our turns, so we don't have to immediately wait through a cycle of enemy nonsense. But I think we're going to have another big battle here, potentially, so maybe this would be a good place to call it for right now. That's going to be it for us for the moment. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time, tomorrow, when we continue to make progress. It might feel excruciatingly slow. It does to me a little bit, but we are doing it. We are pushing forward, and we're going to continue. And we'll see you then.